So welcome to our first group training of 2022. I know we are a few weeks into the new year, but guess what? You can start at any time. And I feel like January is the time where I fully reset and fully realize and really dig deep and get like really rooted into what I want out of this business and my goals for this year. And I always say with a new catalog is a new season. So I try to just take January and prepare for the new season, prepare for the new catalog, all the things. So for those of you who do not know me, my name is Chelsea Otto. I'm Superstar Director with my group, Scent Love and Stars. They're freaking amazing. I love them dearly. I've been doing this for almost 10 years. Literally mind-blowing the fact that I've been with this company for almost 10 years. And things get hard in this business. And what we really want to talk about tonight is making this year clear. Because I've heard so many, and guys, I never take notes. So my group and my leaders, you guys know I don't take notes. I just speak from the heart. I actually have notes. So I'm doing things a little different this year. But you know, things get hard. And I've heard a lot of, I'm tired. I'm getting discouraged. I'm not motivated. And I truly feel, and I hear even with leaders, my team's not working, all these things. And I truly feel like that stems from not being deeply rooted in your why and not having a clear version of what you genuinely want out of this business. Because goals are not titles. Goals are not titles. That's just a part of the process to get to these goals. And I'm talking about like goals, like big goals, like you want to buy your dream house, you want to buy your dream car, you want to put money in your savings account, you want to pay for your child's college, whatever that is, that deeply rooted why of why you are here, that big purpose, that big scary, hairy why, that is what I'm talking about. Not titles, because titles are irrelevant. I don't care about them. I don't. And if you are working simply just for a title every single month, that's all it's ever going to be for you. And you're not going to get very far, honestly. So I feel like a lot of the time we see what everybody else is doing, right? Like how many of you guys do that? You look on Instagram, you look on Facebook, or you look what this consultant's doing, and you're like, I want to do that. I want to do that. And then all of a sudden your plate is just overflowing with just things. And I feel like we put too many expectations on ourselves. And we let ourselves down over and over and over again when we have all of these expectations that we have to do 100 different things. And I feel like when you're doing 100 different things, you're actually not doing anything, because you are so spread thin at the fact that you're not focusing on being intentional with certain things. You're just trying to do all the things. And then guess what? You're just like, oh crap, I'm overwhelmed. I can't do this. I quit. Why am I doing this? And then you snowball and then you get discouraged. So if you're not deeply rooted in your why, if you are not connected and have a clear version of what you want out of this business, you will quit. We all have moments in this business where we're like, this is hard. As leaders, this is hard. Leadership is super hard. It's one of the hardest things that I've had to do in my business. But guess what? Just because it gets hard doesn't mean that I'm going to quit, because I am so deeply rooted in what I want out of this business. This business is literally the stepping stone to what I want in life. And that's what I want it to be for all of you guys. So if you guys see me looking down, it's because I'm trying to stay on notes so I don't pick up all the time, because I want Danny to speak because she's amazing. But when we get so overwhelmed, we get distracted from what we really want. So I need all of you guys to cut out all of the distractions out of your business. If it wasn't serving you in last year in 2021, do not carry it over into 2022. Leave it. It's gone. It's so last year, right? So fetch, right? If you know, you know. So last year. We're not doing that. We're only going to do things that, one, bring us joy in this business. Because when we are happy and we're doing things that we love to do, guess what? That's when consistency will start. If you love what you're doing, you're going to continue doing it, right? I mean, am I right or am I right? Yeah, I see lots of heads. Cool. So, but a lot of the time when you're not motivated and you just want to give up, it's truly just lack of having a clear vision of what you want. And it's easy to get frustrated. It is easy to say that this is overwhelming. Okay, so for example, I was making all of my stuff for the new season coming up in a week. Okay? I had so much, my office was a disaster. And if you know me, I'm very I need a clean space in order to work properly. That's just how my mind functions. Anyone else like that? Because that's how I am. I need a clean space, or my mind is like, whoop, and I'm doing 100 different things. It's like ADHD kicks in, and then I just forget what I'm supposed to be doing originally. But I had so much going on in my office at once that I looked back and I was like, I looked at my husband and I said, I can't do this. I can't do this. Why is everything like this? And I had to think to myself, instead of saying, I'm overwhelmed, I'm frustrated, I can't do this, I don't want to do this, I just give up, who cares? I started saying, guess what? I'm doing this because this is giving me the life that I deserve. This is what's helping me get to the next level of what I want for myself and for my family. This is what is building a future for my family. That's what it is. Yes, it is so easy to get frustrated, but instead of going quick to getting frustrated, think about why it's chaotic right now. This is the season that we are in. It's going to get chaotic, but it can be for a beautiful reason. Then you have to remember that instead of simply going, oh, I'm overwhelmed. Stop. Whoop. Can't do this anymore. You can't do it. And if you get into that mindset over and over and over again, guess what? You're not going to get far in life in general when you have that type of mindset, because life is going to always throw curveballs. Do not wait around for life to get easier for you to start working your business. That was so last year. That was so 2020. Guys, we are pros right now with life throwing curveballs at us. We will make it happen. That is the mindset you should have. 2022, make it happen. That's the mindset. You guys have overcome so much more. You guys can do this. Stop giving into fear. Stop giving into the excuses. Stop comparing yourself, because that's what's literally sucking the life out of you. That is a motivation sucker when you are comparing and you are letting things just do their own thing and you don't have no control over it. And guess what? So many people romanticize, is that how you say it? So many people fantasize about the life that they want, the dreams that they have, the goals that they have set for themselves, but they immediately get discouraged and disgusted by the work that they have to do. Listen to me. You want that dream life, you want these goals to get achieved. The magic is in the work that you're avoiding. I'm going to say that again. The magic is in the work that you're avoiding. Those samples that you're just leaving over here, the catalogs that you have not sent out to your customers, the follow-ups that you have been putting off for weeks now. Come on. The magic is in the work that you're avoiding. You want to have a clear version or vision of what you want. It is in the work that you're avoiding. That is going to literally give you everything that you want. So stop with the excuses. Your dreams are literally, if your dreams are so big, anything's possible. The thing that is going to hold you back is your mindset. The thing that's going to hold you back is not understanding what you want out of this business. And if you are here and you're a new consultant, that's the first thing I encourage you to do. If you're an older consultant and you just forgot of why you were here, why you spent the $99 or why you joined with the Earn a Kit, if you forget why you started, I encourage you. I'm not going to make you, because that's not my job. I encourage you to take a big step back and go, what do I want out of this business? What's my purpose? And guys, everyone's purpose and vision and everything is so different. I don't want your vision to look like mine. I want it to look like yours. If building a dream house is not a part of your vision, don't add it on there because you think that that's what's going to make you successful and it's going to grab people's attention. No. We're not doing that. If putting food on the table for your kids and your husband or your spouse is a part of your vision, put it on there. My goals are right here. I look at them every single day. Every single day. I have a life set, I have a business part, and I have a personal part. Because life and personal and business are all totally different things. And do not add things to your goals and the visions that you want to happen for you because you see what's on social media. Guys, stop. It's not real. It's not real. It's only a very small portion of what they want you to see. You know your life better than anyone. What do you want? In the chat, I want you guys to.
It's not that simple.
But it is. It is.
What do you want?
What do you like? This is like Noah talking on the Notebook.
Not that
Like,
simple.
what do you want out of this business? And make it fun. It doesn't always have to be serious. Make it fun. Involve your kids, involve your spouse, involve your dogs, involve your cats. I don't care. But if you were sitting here and you are just like, you have so much here and you're just like, I don't know where to start. Guess what? It starts with one small task. One small task. One small day, not one small day, one day, one foot ahead. One task, one day, one step ahead. That is it. Baby steps. Nobody is literally asking you to be like, nope, you need to go from essential to superstar director in 6 months. No, ma'am. We ain't doing that. No, sir, no, ma'am. You want to go fast? Go alone. You want to go far? Go together. Take your time. Do not think you have to do what we all do. Don't think you have to hit a title at a certain time. Again, titles, no, get that off your, it's a great thing to work towards, but don't make it the only thing that you work towards. You have, because that will not keep you around. I've seen too many people burn out in this business simply working simply for a title. And we're not doing that because you guys deserve so much more. And if you want to achieve the titles, if you want to achieve the paychecks, if you want to achieve $1,000 paycheck, 5,000, 10,000, 40,000, 100,000. Yeah, you think I'm kidding with these? You want to achieve the big things, you got to do the big work. You got to show up. And not just show up and sit here and go, well, Chelsea told me to show up, so I'm on the team page and I'm looking. No, I'm saying show up, do the hard work. Show up and do those follow-ups. Show up for you. Show up for your family. Show up for whatever that deeply rooted why is. You guys are going to literally hear me say that about 100 times. But I feel like I have to sit there and like hammer it in for you guys to understand. Because so many of you guys are sitting back and you're sitting on opportunities. And you're sitting there wondering, why am I in the same space that I was in last year? Why am I in the same mindset that I was last year? It's because you're not doing the things that need to move you forward. And I don't sugarcoat it. This is all coming from love. And this is all coming from 100% experience. Last January, I messaged one of our SSDs in our group and I said, I don't know what my purpose is anymore. I don't know. And I had to, and guys, this happens. as you grow in this business and as you grow as a human, as an individual, your purpose changes. And I go, what am I doing here anymore? What is my purpose right now? So I had to take a step back. That's why I love Januaries, because you can really dig deep and really figure out what you want for this year and for your life. And my purpose is let's continue molding an amazing community that we already have. Let's continue growing. Let's continue pouring into people who want to work. My purpose is to show people that they can do it just like I did it, but in their own way. So find that. Find your purpose. Find your purpose. My hands are going to hurt after this, I swear. There's one more thing real quick. I saw this quote and I loved it. I took a screenshot of it. If you don't separate yourself from distractions, your distractions will separate you from your goals and the life that you want. So in 2022, we are putting our blinders on and we are going to focus on what we need to do to achieve the goals that we've set for ourselves. Think about it. What are your goals? And we're not just going to show up to show up. We're going to show up and we're going to implement what all of these amazing leaders in our group share with you. We're not just going to show up to show up. We're going to put in the work and we're going to do the dang thing. And we're going to achieve these goals and we're going to celebrate them. That's what we're doing this year. There is no other option. It is not negotiable. I was just talking, Danny and I were FaceTiming earlier, and I was talking to her about how there's just certain things that I do that are just not negotiable. Mine and Danny's husbands are both home, retired. So us not working, that's not an option for us. We have to, but that was a part of our big vision. That was a part of our really big, scary, hairy goal. And it happened sooner than what we both planned, but it's not negotiable anymore. We show up, we put in the time, we put in the work, and it pays off. We do not, I promise you this, we do not put our feet up and collect paychecks. We do not. I struggle, and I'll let Danny speak for herself. I struggle. There's days where I don't want to show up. There's days that are super hard. But when your goals are so big, you want to show up. You want to go, okay, this is my happy place. I got things to achieve. This is going to get me to the next level that I need to go. Sitting back, binge watching Netflix, scrolling TikTok is not going to get me that. Yeah, I know y'all binge watch. I know you guys scroll on TikTok. I've been guilty of it, but I've earned that time to binge watch and scroll on TikTok. I don't do it all day. I barely watch TV during the day. It doesn't even turn on. Because I have such a clear version of or vision of what I want. Why do I keep saying version? I don't know why. Clear vision of what I want. And no one's going to give that to me except me. Nobody's going to give you guys your goals. Those are earned. Nobody's going to show up for you. You need to show up for yourself. That was a hard lesson I learned in 2021. Nobody's going to show up for me. So guess what? I'm showing up for myself because nobody sees the behind the scenes work that happens. And one more thing real quick before I hand it over to Danny. Stop using the fact that you're broke. This is going to be so hard for maybe some of you guys to a big pill to swallow, but it has to be said. And this is coming from an experience with me. So if you haven't heard my story, we were broke as a joke when I first started, literally flipping couch cushions, scraping for change, writing checks, praying that they didn't bounce. So when you're using the excuse, I'm too broke to invest in my business to get one catalog, to get a thing of testers, something. When you're using that and you're saying, I don't have a place to work, I worked from my laundry room when I first started. You make a space, use your floor, push baby toys out of the way, work on the floor. One of my favorite pictures my husband's ever taken of me is me on the floor doing Happy Meal for our team. If you want something bad enough, there is no excuse. You will make it a priority and nothing's going to stop you. No money in your bank account. You will find a way. If you want to make a change, make a change. Sell something. Marketplace, something. There's no excuse. And that's the whole point of this business, right? Is to make a change in your life. If you are not willing to make the changes, you're not willing to put in the work to make the change, you're wasting time. And that's it. All right, Danny, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Oh, that's a tough act to follow. I think in TikToks. So when you were talking about how like your office was a mess and you're like, I can't do this, I just thought of you coming in like, I can't do this. I cannot do this. Anyway, my name is Danny. Some of you guys know me by Blue Cottage Mommy. So I'm I'll be celebrating my 6th-year anniversary in a couple of weeks, actually, February 9th. My very first day as a Scentsy consultant was World Tour Orlando. I had signed up like at 11:30 the night before. I knew I had already been talking to the person that sponsored me about the world tour event that was coming up. She had invited me to come as her guest, but I wanted to come as a consultant so I could get the kit that they were offering, like a business kit thing. And so I joined. And back then there was no host kit, there was no earn a kit, there was no there was nothing like that. So like $99 was not something that we had to just blow. I was pregnant. I was in my 2nd trimester with Reese, for those of you that follow me. And I told my husband, and I was doing another small business at the time, and I wasn't looking for greener grass or to jump ship or anything like that. But when I was introduced to Scentsy, it was just this weird thing. Like I felt like home. Like I felt like I was home, and so I could not be a part of that. And I told my husband, I called him up, and it was hard talking him into my first direct sales adventure. So I was really nervous of what he would say when I told him I wanted to do something else. And something that he said made me cry. And he said that I don't want you to be I don't want you to feel like the time that you've had with this business has been a waste. Take what you've learned here and bring it into your new thing. And that was after he asked Scentsy, what's Scentsy? Do people buy things like that? So anyway, I joined, showed up at World Tour, and I remember thinking, wow, these people are drinking a lot of Kool-Aid because everyone's doing the Scentsy spirit and whatever. And very quickly, I started drinking the Kool-Aid too. I mean, if you've been with Scentsy for any amount of time, you know that it's a great place to be. And oh, hold on, did I get muted? No, okay. So anyway, so just before I joined Scentsy, we had been looking at our bank account, and at the time I was doing odd and end things. My husband was working full time, he was going to school full time, and we had just looked at our bank account. We weren't in debt by any means, but we were eating away at our savings little by little. Me being a stay-at-home mom was just not making ends meet, and I felt like a drain on our family. And it was really hard for me. And I just remember sitting at our dining room table crying and thinking, I'm gonna have to go back to work after this baby's born. And I knew that when I joined Scentsy, I'm like, this is it. I'm either gonna have to make this work or I'm gonna have to go back to work. And so I knew right off the bat what my why was, that I needed to make an income to lift the financial burden off my husband, to feel like not a financial burden for my family, and to be able to stay home with my babies, because I've always dreamed of being a stay-at-home mom. And so I did. I joined February 9th of 2016, and I made director by April 2016, actually the day of my baby shower, and I ended up having Reese less than a month later. So I knew I wanted to get an established business before she was born. That way, while I was going through all the newborn stuff and healing and all of that, that I would have a foundation to work from. So I knew it was easy for me to have that right off the bat why of what I was doing, and have that laser focus of what I was trying to accomplish and when I was trying to accomplish it. But I know that whys don't come as easy is that for some people? I know there's some people, some of you guys are probably looking at me saying, I don't even know what my why is right now. And that's okay. But I would really encourage you to spend some time thinking about what it is that you're wanting from this Scentsy business, because I'll tell you what, I love Scentsy to death. But your business is going to be a lot like your marriage, where you love him. Sometimes you don't like him. Sometimes you don't like him. Sometimes you have sex. You like walk down the hallway and look at each other and go, F you. So so there's going to be hard times. There's going to be times where PRV just flows in and recruits fly in. But then there's going to be times like, I don't know, have any of you guys had like a rough January? I know my January has not been great, not compared to last January. It's been hard. But I have got enough of a rooted why and passion that I'm okay to make it through the other end of this. You know what I mean? Or the end of whatever hardship comes up in my business. If something happens that I don't like, or if there's a decision made that I don't agree with, or whatever, my why is rooted deeply enough, and my belief in Scentsy is rooted deeply enough that I will make it through whatever trial. Divorce is not on the table on this relationship, okay? But if you don't have a strong enough why rooting you in, it's going to be a lot easier for you to walk away. In fact, it's going to be quite easy to throw up your hands and go, I don't need this. So having a why not only sets your direction, but also roots you in those hard times. It grounds you in those hard times to really stick it through. A quote I like is, if you hate starting over, stop giving up. You know, if you have a good why, if you have a good rooted passion for what you're doing, it's going to be a lot harder for you to give it up, right? And so you're going to have, and think of it as if you're on a bicycle and you're going uphill, right? You're pedaling uphill. It's hard as hell to keep those pedals going. But imagine stopping mid-hill, right? Okay, stop mid-hill, dead stop. It's going to be a lot harder to start repedaling halfway up that hill than if you would just, no matter how slow, you would still continue to pedal. Do you understand? So having, no matter how slow, no matter even if you get burnt out or tired or whatever, that you can take that breather and not stop entirely. And that's important for you guys to have that rooted purpose there. Like Chelsea mentioned, a title is not a why. Okay. I guarantee you, when you click that join button, you had no idea what the hell a superstar director was. You didn't know what director was. Like you didn't know any of this crap. It's not why you joined, right? So a title is not a why. An accomplishment is not a why. So, you know, whether you say level 3, top 75, like these things are not whys. They're things that you may want to do, and milestones you might want to reach, but it's not a why. And I can tell you, if a title is your why, it's going to be really easy to give up. And I can also tell you that you can make the same amount of money as a lead consultant if you really wanted to, as like a superstar director. You know what I mean? Like if you want to sell $30,000 in a month, which I know consultants that do that, you can do it. I know as a director, there were months that I had made more than some of my SD and SSD friends. So if you wanted to make the money, you can do it at any title. You don't need a title to make a certain amount of money. And there's SSDs and SDs that aren't getting paid at title. They got the title, ain't gonna get a title, so they don't got a paycheck to back it up. So then what's the point? You know what I mean? So a title is not a why. So find out what it is that you're wanting to, and also know that as you grow, as you evolve, your why will change. As you, obviously, I did get to be a stay-at-home mom. I did not have to go back to work after Reese was born. I was able to make this work. And then my why changed to having my husband retire, because he worked at a restaurant. And if you have ever been in the restaurant life, so, and then COVID hit, and that was horrible for us, for him being in the restaurant industry. And so he ended up getting to retire early, which was awesome. And that had been my why for a really long time. And then it evolved from there. And so now my why is really living life by design, being able to do and pick up and go and not have the ties. So know that it will evolve over time. But also know that each time that you evolve, and this is another quote that I like, each new level of your life is going to cost you your old life. So make sure that you're ready to give that up. Make sure you're ready to pay that, right? So if you want a leveled up life, it's going to cost you the comfort and the life that you have now, right? And think of the detail that your why needs to be, like fitness, right? You can say, I want to get skinny, right? I want to look good. Okay, well, that's kind of arbitrary. What, do you just want to look hot in a bikini? Is that it? Because that's not going to get you very far, right? You know, what is looking hot in a bikini gonna keep you from a cheesecake, right? It's not, right? But things like feeling good, being able to keep up with your kids on a playground, being able to not have to cry in a dressing room when you're trying on jeans, or like there's little things that add up. Think about those reasons, not the I just want to look and be hot, right? So think about more detailed. But do any of you guys love Mel Robbins? I love Mel Robbins. I just got done reading her new book, which is called The High Five Habit. Absolutely recommended if you've not picked it up yet. I actually have been doing her journal each day too that goes with it. It's called the High Five Habit Journal. But one of the audios that she has on Instagram and TikTok and stuff is nobody's coming. Nobody's coming to get your ass out of bed. Nobody's coming to get you on a treadmill. No one's coming to make a phone call for you. No one's coming to show up to the interview for you. No one's getting you out of the house. Nobody's coming. You've got to rescue yourself. You've got to do it yourself. You cannot look at your sponsor or your upline or your spouse and say, you're not doing this for me. You're not motivating me. Guess what? You're not going to be motivated like 99.9% of the time. You've got to be glued and rooted in your why as to why you're getting up and doing this. And know that you go through seasons also, right? There is a season of grinding. When I first joined and I promoted to director in 2 months, that was a season of grinding. I ate, breathed, slept Scentsy all freaking time. And more so than I ever do now. So there's a season of grinding, and it's good for you, right? It's good for you to go through that. But also know that there's going to come a time where you're going to get more adapt at it, right? And you can imagine, like, if you go to the gym, right, you're lifting weights, it's really heavy, it's really hard, right? And at some point that's going to get really light and you're like, okay, and then you can add more weight onto it, right? At some point that grinding season is not going to feel so hard, and you're going to be able to sift through the fluff. You're going to be able to get out what's not serving you, and you're going to be able to kind of narrow it down better, because in the season of grinding you're just trying all the things. You're like, I don't know if this is going to help, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to try all things. So you're going to figure out what works for you and then root out what doesn't eventually, right? So know that there is a season where you'll be able to scroll and binge watch Netflix and do all the things. But I also know that there's things that I need to get done, and I'm an adult and I have to govern that for myself. And if you feel as though you have a hard time governing yourself and disciplining yourself to stay on task, then have accountability. Message a partner, a pacing partner, or your spouse, and say, like for example, I'll tell my husband will come to me in the morning. What do you need to get done today? And I'll tell him, okay, I really need to get this, and this done. And at the end of the day, I'm able to go to him and he'll say, did you get everything you need done today? Yep. And I know that I stayed on task, because I don't want to go to him at the end of the day and go, well, no, I got stuck on TikTok scrolling, or I didn't really feel like it. And there's going to be days that you don't feel like it, and that's okay. And you're going to have to be able to know that resting is part of the journey too. But if your resting comes every single day, you ain't gonna get anywhere, right? You're not gonna travel anywhere. But be accountable, and also give yourself grace. I used to pile so much onto my to-do list and be like, I need to get all of this done today, right? Did I? No. But apparently I like making myself stressed out. I don't know. But I've started giving myself like a grace period. I don't need to get all this done today, but if I can get it done by Friday, that'd be great. And then every day I can chip away at this list, right? Writing things down that are pertinent. Okay, today, like for example, I knew today I needed to do a pre-order Google Doc for my warmer and scent of the month. I needed to do, I needed to bag my scent of the month samples and tag them. I needed to label all my brochures. I needed to bill out for my cottage crates for February, like all this stuff. So I knew what I needed done, right? And I was able to check it off as I went. And I knew if there was something, and you prioritize, right? Have you guys ever heard of like the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 from Mel Robbins, where you just, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or your brain kills whatever it is that you're thinking of doing? I've had my own version of that, and I didn't know it. I'm a Florida girl. I was born and raised in Florida. I'm now in Mississippi, but I'm a Florida girl. And in Florida, they've got springs, right? So like the beautiful springs that you see like manatees and stuff in, they're gorgeous. And they're just as pretty in person as they are in photos. But springs stay about 72 degrees year round all the time. It's freaking cold. And I hate cold water. It makes me mad. I don't want to be in cold water. I don't want people splashing me with cold water. I don't like cold water. And when you have kids and you go to the springs, they don't really like you to sit on the bank. They want you in the water with them. And there's not a really great way to like ease into a spring. You can't just like put one foot and then another and then like, acclimate. That's not how that works. It's freezing and you're just going to have to jump all in and do it all over. Right. So when I think of my to-do list, I can't just like ease into it. I'm going to have to jump in and I get done whatever I am dreading most, because the rest of it's going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy and I'm going to go right through it. But if I know like I have 100 Amy's that I need to get through with my follow-up, that's what I'm going to do first, because I'm dreading it the most. It's going to be the most time consuming. I'm not going to like it. And I would rather scrub baseboards than to get it done. But if I get it done first, I just jump in and do it, then the rest of it is easy peasy. And then I'm acclimated, right? And I can just get the rest of my stuff done. So making sure that you're prioritizing, you're being held accountable for everything. But I want you guys to really think about what it is you're wanting your business to do for you. How's it going to enrich your life, the life of your family, the life of your loved ones? What's going to make you feel good about it at the end of each day? What about it is going to make you stick through the hard times where you don't want to do it? Things that I would love, if you guys are self-development readers or audiobook readers or whatever, Simon Sinek, I love him. Start with why, find your why. He also writes another book I love called Leaders Eat Last. So if you're a leader, that's a great one. The High Five Habit's a great one that I mentioned from Mel Robbins. So invest in you by reading and learning and figuring out what's going to hold you here at the end of the day. This one is Start with Why by Simon Sinek. He also has a lot of like TED Talks, YouTube, social media, but find your why, start with why. The leader book is Leaders Eat Last. And then the Mel Robbins book is the High Five Habit, like high five. I love Simon Sinek. He's great.
And real quick, I think that you made a really great point and you were like, learn to rest. I think that goes for everybody, no matter what season of life you're in. Learning to rest and taking a step back and coming back the next morning or day and just saying, okay, I can do this. Because sometimes, like I said, life gets really hard and it's not going to stop to wait on you. So you have to have that determination to step back, the self-discipline to step back and go, I'm overwhelmed. I need to take a step back. I need to rest and invest back into yourself. So when you are investing so much into your customers and putting a lot of your time and effort and dedication into your customers and into your team, don't forget about you. That is very, very, very important. And I know my leaders hear me say that all the time. I literally like stamp it on them all the time. You need to give yourself grace. You need to learn to rest. If not, you will burn out. And I know.
But also,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, you're fine.
But like also have like a check engine light too. Like, not only are you resting, and there's different kinds of rest. There's I played sports. I grew up playing soccer. So like, take a water break, right? Take a breath, take a breather. If you need, set aside a day of the week where you're like, you know what, I just don't work on Sundays. Or your family knows mommy doesn't touch her phone on Sundays, or after 6 o'clock every evening, mommy's fully invested in family or whatever, right? So have that kind of rest, but also have a check engine light of, are you pouring into you? And I mean, not just like, when's the last time you got a massage? When's the last time you went and got a coffee? I'm talking about like, a lot of times when I feel stuck or unmotivated or just in a rut or whatever, I start asking myself, when's the last time I showed up for a training? When's the last time I listened to a call? When's the last time I read? You know what I mean? And not just read for fun, but like read self-development. Like these guys, a lot of jobs, careers, you're going to school, you're doing continuing education, right? You can walk off the street and be a Sensi consultant. It's our responsibility to make sure that we're continuing our own education. And that comes in the form of self-development, whether you are listening to audiobooks, whether you're watching podcasts, whether you're on YouTube trainings, whether you're in the workstation, whether you are talking with other leaders and building community, whether you are reading a book. I personally made a goal this year of reading 2 books a month, one for fun and one for self-development. I am finishing book 6 for this but making sure that you are pouring into you, not only emotionally and mentally, but for your knowledge and to refill your own cup for how you do this.
Yeah, I mean, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. And the best thing that you can do is just continue to always be a student. You don't always, leaders, this is for you. You don't always have to be a teacher. Be a student. When I'm making samples and stuff, I've got podcasts going. I don't like to read. I'd rather listen to the audiobook. I'd rather watch the movie. But that's just how my mind is set. And I can change it.
You hear how she make an excuse? Well, I don't like
I said I could change it. I said I could change it. I said I could change it.
But she does, instead of saying, I don't like to read, so I'm not going to do that, I like to listen to audiobooks. So then she took a different way. But one of the things I love Melissa Gratz said at a leadership or an SFR is, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah, exactly. And who wants to be the smartest person in the room? I don't. I want to learn.
If I'm the smartest person in the room, you guys are in a lot of trouble. We're all gonna die.
But you guys, there's so much, and Danny and I know the other leaders on this call, we've seen it. We've seen the change that Sensi can bring into your life, but it comes with hard work. And you're gonna have hard months, you're gonna have slow months, you're gonna have really great months. And that's a part of being a business owner. But when times get tough, that does not mean that you should just give up. Because I feel like when you give up on yourself. And who wants to quit lying to themselves? Who wants to quit giving up on themselves? I do. I don't want to give up on myself anymore. I deserve so much more, and you guys do too. Your future self will thank you. What do you want your business to look like 5 years from now? I had this asked. So this was asked to me when we went to Annual Mentor, since he flew Annual Mentor earners to home office for a few days and asked us a whole bunch of questions and hurt my brain. That's pretty much how it went. And I was asked, what do you want your business to look like in 5 years? And I said, man, I don't know. I'd love to have my husband home. I'd love to this be like our only thing. Like, I want to be at home full time with my kids. And I've been doing Sensi full time since day one because I didn't have another option. It was non-negotiable for me. And that's where my life is at in 5 years. That's 5 years later. Here we are. Retired husband, medically retired, unfortunately, but he's here.
Disclosure agreement here.
Oh yeah, we'll put the income disclosure agreement. Don't y'all worry. Don't turn us in, please. But What do you want your life to look like in 5 years? Think about that. Like, don't just look for this year. Look at 5 years. Do you want to have a savings account? Paid off debt, paid off student loans? Like, what do you like? That's the biggest question that I want to leave you guys with tonight is, what do you want out of this business? Like, genuinely, what do you want?
Because it can absolutely come true.
Yeah, 100%. And that will, when you actually know what you want and you have it put somewhere where you see it, it's like a natural motivator, because I can't motivate you guys. Danny can't motivate you guys. We can try till we're blue in the face, but you have to be your biggest cheerleader, your own self-motivator. It starts within you. If you don't believe in yourself, it doesn't matter what any of us say. Because if we could be like, you're doing amazing, I'm so proud of you, you're a freaking rock star, and you're over here like, okay, I don't believe it, but okay. That is self-sabotage, and that will not get you anywhere.
There are a lot of people that look down on direct sales, network marketing. And it's easy to understand why, because it is a lot easier to clock in and clock out and have someone tell you what to do every day, to take the guesswork out, to direct you on to give you permission to go to the bathroom, right? It's a lot easier to let somebody, and hey, if it doesn't work out, you got someone easy to blame, right? It's a lot harder taking that initiative for yourself. It's a lot harder being the one that gets you out of bed every day and gets you to work every day, and you are the one that has to make the decisions, and you are the one that has to grow your knowledge, and you are the one that has to show up, right? Because guess who's to blame at the end of the day if that doesn't happen? You are. And a lot of people are not willing to have that much power, right? Because great power comes with great responsibility. It's not easy for a lot of people. This is not the career for a lot of people, and that's okay. That's cool. But it's hard, right? But if you can get to the other side of that, it's literally limitless. Literally limit. I went from joining at 11:30 at night in my second trimester on the verge of having to go back to work to being the sole provider of my family. You know what I mean? In 6 years. So it's hard, but it is freaking worth it.
And guys, it's not just Danny and I. There's leaders on here, I can see them right now, who have left their 9 to 5. They're 9 to 5 dropouts. And they are doing Scentsy full time. And they're directors, they're star directors. There's people who have left their jobs at Superstar Consultants. When you want something bad enough, nothing will stop you. And nothing changes if nothing changes. If you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, I've been there, bought the t-shirt, wore it, finally ripped it off and threw it away. I was tired. I was literally, my husband and I talk about this every single month, because when that commission hits, we look at each other and we're like, do you remember where we were 9.5 years ago? Literally like at each other's throats. Like my husband couldn't even buy a pack of gum. That's how broke we were, like the 99-cent type of gum. So I understand so much, but you have to make a change somewhere, somehow.
And if you're hearing this and you're like, I don't want to quit my job. I don't want my husband to stay home. I don't need him home any more longer than he already is. Okay. If that's you, that's totally cool. Your goal, your dream, your why does not have to be to leave your job, does not have to have your husband home. Maybe you're not married, maybe you don't have kids, maybe what you're doing with your 9 to 5 is your passion, and that's cool. Your why does not have to be retire, stay home, do this full time, blah, 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 blah. It could be living on your own terms. For me, my husband, he fell into the restaurant industry not because he hates cooking. It's cooking, right? His parents got divorced when he was young, and his mom was a single mom, and it was hard for her to make ends meet. So he got a job as like a sophomore in high school, as a kitchen boy in a restaurant, and his parents never encouraged him to do anything else. And it wasn't until we started dating that he went back to school for culinary arts and management. Again, not what he wanted, but he felt like he had been in his industry for too long and invested too much time to give that up, right? So he just went with it. And and for 16 years, I watched my husband clock in and out of a job that sparked no joy, brought him no happiness whatsoever. And I hated that. And my mission once I got to the point where I could stay home comfortably, right? My mission was to be able to give him the freedom to do something that made him happy and make him smile. And he does now. He goes out and he builds furniture outside. And he loves it. And that makes him so happy. And for me, that was enough for that filled me up so much. So it doesn't have to be you quitting your job or living the cut and dry life of being a Scentsy person. But it could be putting your kid through ballet, or it could be, not having to worry about your dog if it breaks a leg, or like it can be small, it could be a coffee every morning or whatever it is. Don't feel as though you're listening to these big grandiose things and going, well, I don't really care about any of that. Find what speaks to you, and what's going to get you the joy and the happiness and to get your ass out of bed every single day.
Yeah, I love that you said that, because it's really important. That's really important that you have to figure out what you want. I mean, it literally all ties into that. So if retirement is not what you want, if you don't want to do this full time, but you still want to be successful, you can do that. You literally have in the palm of your hands an amazing opportunity to do whatever you want, to just change your life for the better, however that looks for you, however that vision looks for you. As long as
You
it's
could turn your
clear,
house into a jungle with your Scentsy money.
you get to what?
You could turn your house into a jungle with your Scentsy money.
Yeah,
You could start an animal rescue with your Scentsy money.
yeah.
You
Like
could have some Highland cows,
one day.
whatever.
Yes. But I mean, and this is the best part, when you get to a point in your business where you're like, my life's changing, the best thing, literally the best thing, is blessing others with this business. And the money, we always say, give more than you take, invest back into your community. Like, there are so many amazing things that you can do with this business, not just for yourself and for your family, but for the lives of other people in your community. It is a saving grace.
And on a small scale, that could look like paying for the person's coffee behind you.
Yes. Yep. Or doing a double yay when you go out to eat, meaning match the tip with what the price of the meal is. That is super fun to do. And when you can bless other people's lives simply by paying for coffee or paying for groceries at the grocery store, or giving a really nice tip, that changes people, because you never know what people are going through, and we all have to give each other grace at the end of the day. So
Do you want to open up to some questions?
yeah, I've been trying to keep up with them. I know that some people are asking about like customers and stuff, but hold on. I'm gonna go
Questions pertaining your why, things
Yeah.
like that. Let's try to keep it topic based.
Yeah, we have other
because-
trainings in regards to growing customer base and all that. We have
Don't be asking about fundraisers up in here.
well, don't ask me, because I don't. But I think a lot of people just, I mean, some of them were telling us someone said that they needed new socks and underwear. That was their why. Like, that to me, it just, I love that, because it's different and it's not extravagant, but it set the tone for what they needed to do. And I hope you got your new underwear and your new socks. I hope you did. I love that. For me, it is to mentor. So, mentor like your team, if that's what that meant, then that's an amazing goal. Being a mentor is very hard, but it's super rewarding. I hope that that's what you meant. Monthly car payment. Yep. Especially if it's your bills. I feel like if you're paying your bills with Sensi money, you have to work. Like you have to have that drive to work, because you're not paying your bills. Someone did say, I think it was Lisa, also with having a clear vision of what you want, is also surrounding yourself with really good people. People who are talking about goals, who are talking about visions, who are talking about positive things, not energy suckers, not being negative on social media, not talking politics and fighting with everybody. Like that's out. We're talking about goals. We're talking about dreams. We're talking about clear visions. We're talking about making our lives better together.
I mean, whatever is in your life, you're literally saying yes to it. I mean, I'm talking what you listen to, what you watch, the people, the family, everything that's in your life, you are saying yes, you are allowing it to be there. And if it destroys your mental health, if it brings you down, if it off rails you, if it keeps you off track, that's on you, boo. You are saying, you are allowing it to take up space in your life. Especially when it comes to social media, right? Facebook caps you off at 5,000 friends. That's 5,000 seats to your show. If someone's pissing you off, someone's not cheering for you, that is one less seat you need taken up by someone that's doing that, right? So gone. So you walk their butts right off that stage, right? So you're the sum total of the things you surround yourself with, but you have control of all of it. Absolutely all of it.
And people aren't always going to agree with what you're doing. I mean, I'm sure you guys have probably heard like, oh, she's doing that direct sales company, or oh, here she goes. What's this candle company you're a part of? I've heard that. You can't make money, you can't build a life, like you can't do this, you can't do that. Guess what? It's not for them to understand. Remember that. If people are being negative because you started a direct sales company, okay, first off, I just did a reel on this on Instagram, and I was laughing like after every clip because it's so funny and it's so true. But it's not for them to understand. It's not for them to understand your vision of what you want your life to be. And a lot of the times, it's strangers that will support your business, not the people that you thought would support your business. Because the people who you thought would support your business are usually the people who are staying in the exact same places they've been for tens of years. And they're trying to figure out why you are trying to better your life and level up in life. And they're not doing anything. They're trying to figure out how you guys came from the same town, same place, same home. And they're here and you're trying to come up here. Don't let them suck that energy out of you, okay? You deserve it. You are so worthy of it. You're worthy of everything amazing, good, all the things. And I want you guys to know that you have so much support right here in the groups, in the community. Surround yourself with the right people and watch your entire mood, watch your entire business completely change. And make sure that those people that you have surrounding you are people who go, no, we're not sitting down today. What are you doing? What work are you doing today? You're not just going to do 2 follow-ups and you said you were going to do 4. Do the 4. Keep each other accountable. And I think Danny actually got kicked off. But we'll end with that. Know that you are here for a reason. You may not know it right now, but you will. And one day it's going to hit you. And you're going to be like, that's the reason. So I encourage you guys to go out this last week of January and dig really, 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 really deep and figure out what you want out of this. What do you want? That's all I got to ask. And hold on, someone had a question. Hold on. I don't want to take up any more. There's Danny. Okay. Have either of you felt like your business was struggling too much to support, achieve your why? How did you power through that? Yes.
My phone died.
That's fine. I figured something happened. So the question was, Danny, have you ever felt like your business was struggling too much to support / achieve your why? How did you power through that? So your business is going to go through seasons. Like I've told my group and my leaders and my team, anybody I talk to, expect to fail. Expect to fail, but don't give up. I always feel like you go through really hard seasons as a test to what you really want. And you have to keep going. And especially with taking time back and investing into yourself by reading, educating yourself, becoming very knowledgeable of our products and what we have to offer and how to market and how to grow, that helps. And I think a lot of the time it's just, we get into our own head. We get into our own head, we get in our own way. And if things aren't working in your business, it is okay to reinvent it, start over, refresh, whatever you have to do. But as long as you are consistently showing up and showing people, I'm still here, I'm a Scentsy consultant. Because I know I could go on people's pages and they haven't talked about Scentsy in 6 months and wonder why they aren't moving. You're gonna struggle. There is no doubt. You're a business owner. You're gonna struggle. We all struggle. It's how you move through it and overcome it. So you can let a struggle completely set you back and you go, well, I don't know how to deal with this. Just like I said in the beginning, where you can go, I'm overwhelmed, I'm stressed, I'm done, I can't do this. Nope. Or you can say, okay, my business is struggling. What's not working? What's not working? We're going to put this over here. What's working? We're going to focus on this. And don't forget your strengths, like your personal strengths. If PRV, if talking to new people is a strength of yours, hold on to that. If recruiting is not a strength of yours, then you need to start educating yourself on how to recruit. It's all about knowledge, educating yourself, and always being a student. And getting through it is going to be hard, but that is why you need those people, those positive people around you, because you may be struggling, but I guarantee they're not struggling. And if they are, y'all can do it together. But 9 out of 10 times when you're having a bad day, Melissa Gratz said this at SFR too. Isn't she amazing? When you're having a bad day, they're most likely not having a bad day. Lean on each other. Those are the times when you need to lean on those positive people. Those are the times where you lean on your sponsor, your director, your SSD, the group. Lean in. And if something's not changing, make a change. Struggles are only temporary if you want it to be. If you continue to always struggle, then there's something in there that you're doing that is just not working. And what is the thing? If you keep doing what you always do, you always get what you always, you know what I mean. It's insanity. It's insanity. So change it up, try new things, but don't overflow your plate. When we were at Summit in Gatlinburg 2 years ago, something like that, one of the girls looked at me and she goes, I'm just so overwhelmed. I have so much on my plate. And I just looked at her and I said, put the plate down. Just put it down. Just put it down. If you're overwhelmed, put it down, dump it all out, start fresh. It's okay. Just don't give up. So on that note, I hope that answered that question. Go out there this week and really dig deep and figure out your deeply rooted. And oh, there you are, Danny. I was like, where's she?
I was muted.
Oh, why?
I don't know, because I hop back on. Just to add real quick, because I know this is running long. That quote that be flexible with your methods, but not your goal. So I can tell you that in the seasons where I felt as though I was struggling in my business to reach the goal that I was trying to get to. So for example, think of like summertime, right? Summertime is not as lucrative as fall and winter, right? And I had come to dread summer because I knew it was going to be slower, but it changed my mindset. And I found that it was the time that I was able to freely try new things. For example, I started realtor bundles. I started my cottage crates that I do every month for the past like 5 years now. I started those for the first time during summertime. So in a time where I was slow and freaking out that like I'm not super busy, I'm not bringing in a ton of PRV, it gave me the flexibility to try things I wouldn't have had time to try for otherwise. And these are things that I still utilize and rely heavily on now in my business. I was able to get rid of other things that I didn't enjoy as much for these new things that I had tried and worked and I found a ton of joy in. So don't look at it as, well, I've got all this downtime, it's really slow, I'm struggling, as a bad thing. A lot of times that's the universe making way for you to implement something else, or it's telling you to get rid of crap that's not serving you and do something else, because you're not tied down to anything. Since he says we need to sell $200 once every 12 months, right? As long as you're doing that, you're fine. But it doesn't say you need to do that by house party or by fundraisers or by, virtual parties. Find what brings you joy, find what ties into the things that you're naturally good at. And just because you try it once doesn't mean you have to stay. If it totally blows and sucks and you're like, no, this is really bad, you can check that off your list. And also know that your business is going to evolve. I've tried bingo parties, I've tried in the mail pouch parties. I've been able to do all these things in slower times, or times that I was struggling more, because I had the time to do them, right? I wasn't as busy with parties. I wasn't as busy with other things that I would normally be busy with in the fall time, where I wouldn't be able to catch my breath. So maybe instead of looking at a time of struggle as, oh God, look at it as, okay, what could I learn? What could I take this opportunity to like widen my expertise on something, right? So think of it as a good time to weed out what's not serving you. If you've been doing something for like 6 months to a year and you're not seeing a return on it and it doesn't bring you joy, okay, what can you replace that with, right? So making sure that you're swapping that out and having the right mentality about it.
Agreed. And I think we'll leave it on that note. So thank you all for showing up. Stay tuned because there are others coming. It's gonna be so good. So yeah, this will be uploaded on YouTube and on all the pages. So if you need to come back and get a kick in the butt, there you go. It'll be there. And I hope you guys have an amazing night. And let's finish January strong and amazing. And let's get excited for the new catalog, because it is so
We love you.
good. Yes.
Can't wait.
Thank you so much. Night, guys.